Stand.
We need to
Guilty.
cross-examine. Alright, what we got? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Taking order at 4:25, and Councilman Lay, just give us the honors.
Oh my God. Lord, we appreciate this day to come together and work with the Cherokee people. We appreciate the rain. We're 10 inches behind. We don't realize that, but we need a little more rain, so just keep sending it, but don't let it flood. Protect us and watch over us. God, please help the ones that are in the hospitals. Make their day easier. God, we pray. Amen.
Amen. All right, Shelley, roll call.
David Longstick. Don Garvin.
Honey.
Jack Baker.
Here.
Harley Buzzard.
Here.
Joe Bird.
Honey.
Juliet Coates. Jody Fishinghawk. Janelle Fulbright. Randy Cargus. Tina Glory Jordan. Lee Teener.
Honey.
Dick Lay.
Here.
Curtis Snell. Denise Taylor.
Here.
David Thornton.
Honey.
Victoria Vesquez. Kara Calhoun.
Honey.
Do you have a quorum?
All right, thank you, Ms. Shelley. All right, need a motion for the approval of the September 15th minutes.
So moved.
Move second, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion to approval minutes passes. Down to reports, we're gonna go on to Miss Precious Diane Kelly.
He wants something.
Dr. Lee Job.
Are you wanting to come play basketball over in the gym?
I need some money, need a loan.
Is that what it is? Oh, that was Shay Smith.
So,
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. I just want to say thanks to Deputy Speaker Fulbright and yourself, Mr. Chair, for helping us out with our GED graduation last Thursday night. We brought in all the GED graduates to the Talking Leaves gym, and we had our reception and had our ceremony over at the gym. First time we've done that, and we had a really good turnout. A lot of parents, grandparents, spouses, relatives. It was a good turnout, and I appreciate them being there to help us with that. We have a ribbon cutting ceremony. This is one of 3. This is our last one, so we can finally get down to business. We have a ribbon cutting open house this Thursday in Salisaw at what was the old Sequoia Bank building, which is right across from City Hall, and it'll be at 2 o'clock in the afternoon on Thursday, October the 16th. I think you've probably got information from Amanda's office. If you haven't, you probably will be getting that. I'd like to see you all come out if you can. We are opening this office with the tag office, with Indian Child Welfare, Commerce. We'll have some people down there, and we will have services from all of our different areas within Career Services. Talking Leaves Job Corps will have a representative there. John Overacker says he'll be using it whenever they start working on the rolling construction. We've got an opportunity to go upstairs if we need to, so it's big enough that we can expand when we need to. If you haven't got to see the building, it's a beautiful building. It was an old bank building. There was like 3 different vaults. Darrell Legg took pictures of the old vault that Pretty Boy Floyd, I think, robbed, and the vault and everything was still in there, or the safe, so they got to see that, and we're just real excited. The staff are, although we had a leak this morning with all that rain, and of course our landlord was down there about 10 o'clock trying to get it fixed. He assured me that everything would be ready to go. His roofer was in Des Moines, Iowa, but he said they'd take care of it. So if you haven't seen the building, you need to come and see it. It's state of art. Talking Leaves Job Corps, Ramona Holt and Brett Hamby have new additional duties. Jay's doing a reorg over there. Our regional office was here. Mona's taking over the cafeteria because she has the culinary as part of her group, and it made sense that she would oversee the cafeteria. She's also got counseling along with academic. Brett Hamby is picking up recreation along with the residential because he has to ensure that they've got activities planned for the students in the residential. So those two have moved into other areas along with their present duties. And Dawn Lucas, who is one of our counselors, is our superintendent for our school board for the other 3 Job Corps centers for our school academy. Our JD-NEG, I want to introduce a young lady. Won't you stand up, Brandy? This is Brandy Whaler. She is the last of the staff to get our JD-NEG group going. She started today. She's going to be our job developer out of Pryor. She'll be working out of our Pryor office, working up north. She'll be doing Veneta, Jay, all those areas up there. She's excited. She's been working for us in the past. I think Frankie remembers her. She worked over at our adult education program while she was going to school to get her degree. Brandy is a native of Delaware County, right on the edge. She kind of goes right in between Mays County and Delaware County.
Where's she in high school?
I don't know. She'll have to tell you that.
Oh, well, actually, I went to high school at Oaks, Oklahoma, ended up being a dropout, got my GED, then got my life straight, come back, and was very thankful for the Cherokee Nation because I come back with a scholarship, and without the Cherokee Nation, I would not have my bachelor's in social work, so I'm very appreciative. Thanks.
And our other job developer is Larry Daugherty. You may remember Larry. He worked for us here at the Nation for a while, then he went over to C&B, and he's been working at Catoosa Schools, and he lives in Owasso, so we were very fortunate to get him because he can work with us on the Macy's project. Somebody have a question?
Yes, Councilman Lake.
Oh, I'd wait until you're through.
We're just yawning probably, weren't you?
No. No, I'll go ahead and ask my question.
Okay.
Be sure to give Brandy a map of Nowata and Washington County.
Don't worry, she'll know where those places are, I promise you. Our JD-NEG grant, we are excited. We roll that out Monday, and the staff are busy trying to get things trained. Staff trained. We are actually having to have meetings with the workforce offices and all the different temp services, so those are going to happen here in the next 2 weeks with the staff on board. Jeff and John Crittenton rolled out the day training program. We were overwhelmed with staff, well, I don't want to say staff, clients. We had to move and shift some of the people that was on the EPT program back to day training, and you were talking to David Pruitt. We've got about 14 people sitting over there with David Pruitt, and you were talking about the list that he's been able to knock down. Well, he's been able to knock it down because we helped give him some of those laborers, and he's had some good guys over there helping him get that work done. And I just wanted to share that with you because sometimes our clients don't get recognized, but they're out there in the trenches helping get those things knocked out. We've got some good guys over there. David's doing a really good job with them. We've got another thing I wanted to bring up. Brandy was here to talk to you about the Angel Tree, and I think she said it's a different title now. You may be aware of it, you may not be. John Overacker does a golf tournament in conjunction with our tarot vendor fair and our tarot banquet, and the proceeds for that golf tournament, half of it go to the One Fire Domestic Violence, and the other half of it goes to the Angel Tree. So he presents a check to them this year from last year, or in the spring when we did the golf tournament. So I wanted to share that with you. And this year, during the banquet, I believe he and Nikki have gotten together, and they're looking at doing a toy drive for everybody that comes to the banquet. So I don't know how they're going to do that, but he did bring that up to me last week. So they're looking at, having the people bring toys for a toy drive for the Angel Tree.
What date is that banquet?
It is, I believe, Thursday, November the 6th. We are working with Sequoia County, working with Indian Capital Technology Center. We're going to do some specialized training down there. The middle school, Salisaw has moved into a new building, and so the old middle school is available, their kitchen area. We're going to go down and look at that this week with Indian Capital. We're looking at that as our training lab for the specialized training for culinary for the Roland project, and also the housekeeping portion. Been meeting with Kathy Adair, and we're trying to get some people identified through them to do the training so that we'll have that out and ready to go, so that we'll have some manpower ready whenever they open that facility. So we're working on that. Owasso has a mobile unit that we're going to go up and look at and see what they can do to help us with the South Coffeyville project, since it's up in that area. So we are working with Bob Thomas and his staff to try to roll out some more specialized training to get some more people on board that can do the food service and culinary, because that seems to be one of the areas where there's pretty much a revolving door. So with that, that's all I have, unless you have some questions.
Diane, GED graduation was pretty neat. All those kids, it was adults, not kids, but
Yeah.
a lot of them were, they had a lot of accomplishment. I guess we had an increase of participants being at the graduation than what we had last year.
Yeah,
Last year we had one show up.
we had an excellent turnout this year.
Yeah, we had about 99% turnout this year.
Yeah, we're going to look at caps and gowns for them next year. We're going to borrow the ones. Who was our speaker?
Yeah.
Our speaker was Deputy Chief S. Joe Crenton.
Really?
And closing remarks were by the Education Chair, Mr. Walkenstick.
Is that the reason for the increase? Is that-
I don't know. Miss Fulbright was there in the audience, and we just called her up there, and she made some comments as well. So we appreciated them coming. Pardon?
I was running late. I was running behind.
We thought we were going to have to call the marshals out for you.
And I want to apologize for missing that. I understand the staff was disappointed in the lack of support from the council, that I was in Durant at Intertribal, but I would have been there. But
Yeah.
I fully support that program.
I did
Well,
too.
thank you.
were taking care of business at Intertribal.
Well, I will say this year has been a very challenging year for the teachers because of the change in the state requirements, and we decided that every year we're challenging these teachers, and so this year we recognized Lila Killer. She actually had more graduates than anybody, and Teresa Katsavis from Sequoia County had the most Cherokee graduates. So we want to continue that next year, so as an incentive to our teachers, this will be something that they can work toward, and they were both presented with Pendleton blankets. And I want to thank you all for the $300 per graduate. Mr. Thornton's not here, he was the one that was calling about that.
All right,
Thank you.
Thank you, Diane. Good report.
Thank you.
All right, not Dr. Ando, but Bill Ando and Dr. Sly.
There's a doctor there somewhere.
It just plays it up.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, council members. You have our report in front of you. Does anyone have any questions?
Yes, Councilman Baker.
Yes. I see we are taking applications for Remember the Removal Bike Ride already, which I'm glad to see you're starting early in the project.
Yes.
But I was concerned that it's limited to those people living within the 14-county area, even though it's general funds from the Cherokee Nation. Because I had asked in the past, and at one time, that restriction was removed, because I realize that to go on the bike ride, they have to be here where they can attend all the meetings and practice with all of them. So that eliminates the majority of the people, but if they can be here, I don't see any reason why they should be eliminated. They could live in Muskogee or in South Tulsa, Wagner, just outside we're in Fort Smith, but nevertheless, they're being excluded, and I would like to see that removed once again.
Okay, are you, excuse me, are you thinking about maybe having it the contingent counties or something like the
No,
higher ed, or
it's
just open it up?
Just open it up, because they have to be here.
Right.
If they can be here for those, I would assume they're going to have to live nearby. But if someone wants to drive up from Texas and not miss any of that, I don't see any problem with that either.
Okay. It's a bit late to do it because the deadline is the 31st of this month for the applications, but we can certainly, under the council's
Or go on the
directive,
website
we
and
can.
eliminate that restriction for the 14 county. Because like I said, I know they have to be here. It isn't like someone from California is going to apply because they can't be here for all the practice and attend all the meetings.
Right.
And also, the same thing was with the youth choir. I know that at one point, which it may still be, it may be there again, that it's limited to the 14 county area. But at one point, we had eliminated that. And
Okay.
I know a couple of cousins, they live 2 blocks apart. One was in the nation and one was outside. And the one living outside could not even apply.
Would you like to pull your team together and look at that?
We can, but I'd never known it to be, I wasn't working the program, so I didn't know it was ever, eliminated.
It has been.
Okay, but we could pull the team together and look at that. So, because I don't know, I personally don't see anything about it, it's just that it's already out there, but okay.
We've got a lot of,
Thank you.
sorry, do you want to
I
relinquish your?
Thank you.
I was just going to say, we've got a lot of networks, that we can get word out quickly of the change if this is opened up, so.
Okay.
do it. Thank you so much.
November 6th, Brian Jackson's going to be attempting a world record for the world's largest round dance at Bacone College at the Commons at 11 a.m. Is that correct?
I believe so. I spoke to him about it this morning. I'm assuming the date's correct.
Largest round dance.
Interesting.
Yes, Councilman Budger.
I see Vernon Thompson's on there for Head Start, but I don't consider him. Can I go ahead and ask the questions?
Yeah, yes, you may.
Sure.
This has to do with the Head Start program, and I was going to ask Vernon, but I'm getting some feedback, and this is coming out of the Head Start Center in Jay, that the kids, the staff or Head Start director does not allow anything to do with Christmas for those kids that go to Head Start. Like to have a Christmas tree, have anything that says Merry Christmas, nothing like that. And I kind of found that probably not true, but I'd like me to check on that and see. The other thing that brought to my attention, I know these are young kids, and I believe they're at J, they take them as small as 6 months or so. But they're not allowed to go across the road to go to the clinic during Halloween to get candy and stuff like that. I don't know if there's a policy against that or not. I guess there isn't, because they said they can't do it. But they'd like to do it. I've heard from some of the parents, they'd like to do that. And the other thing is that I'm hearing, and it makes some sense to me too, that they're not allowed to take any treats to those kids at Head Starts as far as packaged candy. It has to be healthy foods, carrots, those type of foods. Just check and see if that's policy and why. The other thing that's going on at the Head Start there, Jay, has said that we're not taking kids that turn 3-year-old next year. They're eliminating that. I'd like to know why or if that's true. Some of those things you hear, you don't know if it's true or not. I said I would at least bring it forward and find out and see what the policy is on it. But anyway, it kind of didn't upset me. Just kind of wondered about, those are just small kids and they see other kids going out and do trick-or-treating stuff. They were wanting to take them over to the clinic because they always decorate the clinic and treats and stuff out. And I really didn't see anything wrong with it. I know we want our kids to eat healthy, but if you look at it, there's probably only 3 times a year that they actually do that. It's Halloween and Christmas. All the other holiday, it's not like they're giving it to them every day. So I'd like to know if there's a policy or why we do have a policy, if there is a policy like that.
Yeah, we'll look at that and particularly look at how that, if that's affected by our federal funding and our regulations with federal funds and all of that. So we'll check it out.
I guess kind of what, I guess it disturbed me. Well, it did, I have a Christian tree. Christianity and Christians what we do. We check on that. I don't know why we couldn't.
Sure.
Or even have Merry Christmas on the door or wreath on the door.
Sure.
It's just like they're telling me there's nothing to do with that stuff. So anyway, I was going to bring it to Vernon's attention, but if you guys will check that out, I would certainly appreciate it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bert.
So you're going to look into whether we can give unhealthy foods to our...
Yes, I am. So.
Is that policy driven?
But my assumption is it has to do with our federal, our federal budget, federal regulations with Head Start. But we're going to find out. But we need to.
For sure.
But I think the question is a good question, and I don't want to base all of this on assumption. We need to find out where it is written, and we'll bring that back to you.
I'm in education right now, and there is a federal law called Smart Snacks, and the rule, what it says is from 6 in the morning to 3 that afternoon, you can't serve kids any unhealthy. That's outside the Smart Snacks.
Right.
And there's a big old list of Smart Snacks that come from different food groups, but like our NASA kids, we feed them donuts, on a weekly basis,
Yeah.
And the kids are pretty upset about the new law. And some schools are enforcing it, some aren't. But
Getting better checkups? Is that
yeah, we're trying to increase our health care. So.
And I think that's the reason that was brought up, because I guess they're hearing that some Head Start centers does it, some don't.
What you're saying is
Yeah.
One was good for all.
Yeah, we'll look into it, and I think that not only you need to know, the parents probably need an explanation. If not, why not?
Exactly.
Okay.
It can't be a Happy Meal. It's strict. Like it's horrible diet. Questions? Hey, Kaner.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Dr. Sly, has Dr. Morton reached out to you on the language program at SU to work out the MOA?
Not yet. They're still working on it. They're looking at building a transition program so we don't lose those up there. I know that our contract with this is hearsay on my part. I throw it out there, though. But what I'm hearing is that Northeastern paid half of Mr. Kirk's salary out of the contract that we had. Well, the language program is a degree program that belongs to to Northeastern and the regions of Oklahoma. So we don't control Northeastern. And so if they don't want to pick up the rest of his salary as we begin making this transition, then we can't make them do it. So that's just where it stands, and so that's why we're trying to build a transition so we don't lose any of the students that are up there in that language program.
Has he reached out to you for the report that I asked for?
I haven't seen a report, no, but my first day in office, and I leave in the morning for a week, so I can leave, I will email him and ask for the report that you asked for. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Dr. Slot?
Yes, sir.
In the morning, I'm attending the Oklahoma Advisory Council for Indian Education at Muskogee Creek College. And just on representation of the tribe, do you guys have any issues or concerns that I can, or ideas to help just the general spectrum of Indian education across Oklahoma that I could bring to the table?
Yes, we do. But I'd like to work with Kate and Duncan to work on prepare that for you.
Okay.
Because with government relations, we always work with the government relations office before we get that, but we'll get you a statement prepared.
Could you get me something before 10 a.m.?
Before 10 a.m.? I'm going to have it before tonight.
Okay. Sounds
because
good.
I have to be at the airport at 7 o'clock in the morning.
You're going to NIEA, aren't you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I have attended a meeting on Wednesday.
Kane, is that good with you? That's something you could get?
I'll get him.
Hard, but I can try.
I will get him a draft and he'll polish it up for me.
Okay.
You know, so he knows what we're saying. Okay.
Thank you, Dr. Stock. Any other questions? Yes, Councilman Baker?
Yes. I seen your report that we mentioned that John Ross was a featured speaker about Cherokee language at Gilcreast's grand opening of the Hellman Center for Research. I attended that, and he did do a very good job in representing the Cherokee Nation quite well. So
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, we'll pass that along. Thank you.
Also, you guys probably know, but Chief Byrd went to the Dilly-Gual Museum last week and delivered a check for putting those wooden posts up around the Heritage Center, the village out there.
Mm-hmm.
I guess there was a chain link fence up there.
Yes.
Is that right? Whose idea was that? Or was it just a funding?
It was just a funding issue. I mean, it's their historical society facility.
Sounds good.
So a new fence would be very welcome. I walked through the village about 2 weeks ago, a week and a half ago, and it looks fantastic. I mean, it really does. I mean, now it's had, basically a whole summer to mature, and it's just going to continue to look better and better as the trees get bigger. The staff is doing a great job. Condesa Teehee, or Dr. Teehee now, is really focused on making sure that it's accurate and that it's dressed out. So it's not just a walk through a bunch of empty buildings. It's a lively place with things happening. And so it's something that we should be very proud of.
Yes, Chief.
Well, Bruce Davis and I are going to get together after NIEA and go over those projects we're talking about.
Right.
And I think the Heritage Center was listed like in the top three.
Top three.
Is that correct? Only behind like the Isleta and
USA Today's top 10 Native American experiences, number 3, and the first two would be hard to beat.
Yes.
And so it's an incredible accomplishment for the center. It is something that they can use as a tagline as they move forward to advertise that to tourists as well.
It's building. You guys are doing a good job.
Thank you.
At the Cherokee Art Market, they're not. Chief Byrd had mentioned about a multi-purpose event center and getting those plays, the drama, the Trail of Tears and Nanahe and those other ones. And I tell you, people started talking about that amongst themselves. So all the tables, they was all lobbying support for that. So we just need to keep moving forward with that and sharing our stories so it's not forgotten.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I appreciate it, Dr. Sly. Well, next we got Mr. Leroy Qualls and Sequoia Schools, but they're all at the state championship, and they played at noon today. I'm not sure if they won or not. If they won, they was going to play at 5 in the championship, girls softball.
Got rained out.
Did it get rained out? And they got rained out again. Play tomorrow. So now you guys root our Indians on. Well, with that, it's going on old business, none pending, new business, none pending announcements. Do we have any announcements? Seeing none, next meeting's going to be Thursday, November 13th. Here, a motion to adjourn.
Take a motion to adjourn.
Second, all those in favor, say aye. Aye.